Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of They Call Me Fat podcast. Now, if you've ever felt held down or restricted and want to change your circumstances by any means, this is the podcast for you. Now, for me, being fat was my restriction, but for you, it might be your situation. It could be your skill level, your education, your finances. It literally could be anything. So, if you've ever felt restricted and felt the need to power through and change your life, this is the place where we come together and speak how we're doing it. Today we are meeting with Vince Rosario, a CT native and artist out of Texas. So without further ado, Vince, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Vince Rosario. Like Tyler said, I'm an artist out of Texas. I've been born and raised in Connecticut. Moved out to Texas for my family, my daughter, and never came back. So that's who I am.
Awesome. Sounds like a big move, and it sounds like you're doing it really well as well.
Yeah, trying to. I'm trying to. I found my passion in music, and I'm trying to roll with it and see where it goes.
Awesome. So tell me about that. You recently just dropped a music video not too long ago. Now, I want to know a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we just dropped, me and my buddy, my best friend in Texas, Colin Walker, a.k.a. C-Mill. We dropped a video called Good Will Hunting, and it was something that we really wanted to do. We've been doing collaborations together for a while, and we decided that, hey, let's put this out for everyone to see, and let's see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I see. I've been checking out that song also, like following it through. You guys have been doing really well with that. It's got over 100,000 views. That's amazing.
Yeah, right now it's sitting, I think it's like 117,000 views on Facebook, which is amazing for us. You know, we do it for the fun of it and because we love music and we love to create new content and let people hear it. But when we saw where it's going, we were like, wow, people are enjoying it, and it's definitely a positive attitude going forward.
Now, what exactly were your expectations when you were creating this song? Did you expect it to do as well as it is now?
When we created it, you know, we were just like, hey, we were thinking 500 views, someone's going to listen to it. We got it out there so people can hear it. Whoever likes it, they might share it, a couple shares, a couple likes, a couple comments. Just more, it was a feel-good thing for us. But putting it out there and for everyone to get to, the first day, I think it was at like 56,000 or something. And we were like, shit, that's awesome. We were thinking that's where it's going to stop. And a few days later, 4 days later, now here we are at 117,000 views.
That is absolutely amazing. Do you have any ideas for other hits that you want to do as well?
We got some stuff in the back burner that we're waiting to get when I get back to Texas, to record and put out there because people are loving it. And when someone loves something, you got to give them more.
Absolutely. I know I am definitely a fan who wants to hear more as well. I expect very big things coming from you.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Now, I want to know a little bit also about the creation of the song, right? So it's some pretty deep lyrics. And I want to know, what was your mindset when you were creating it? What were you thinking?
So when we created this song, we were actually in the studio for other music. So he's doing his individual music, that's C-Mill, and myself. I was doing my individual music. And we always like to get together and do one song, two songs together. So we put on the beat, and we were just listening. And to be honest, it took us about maybe 12 minutes to write the song. I don't even think we wrote lyrics down because it came from a place in our heart and our soul and something that we really felt. And we just kind of wordplay off each other and, you know, came up with the hook, chorus, and our verses. And it's just something that it was fluent and it flowed right off the head. And it came from a spot that we definitely hold near and dear to us, and that's how it came out, man.
Awesome. So I want to know a little bit about the lyrics and the story behind the song. Is there any particular, like, what's the message behind it? What's the story? Where does it come from?
So Good Will Hunting comes from a spin of two favorite movies of C-Mill and myself. That's the action movie Good Will Hunting and the Get Him to the Greek movie. So the song pretty much is trying to tell a story of it's okay, you know, not to sound cliche, it's okay to be happy and sad. At the same time, it's okay to have your down days. It's okay to have your up days. It's okay to, you know, mess up in life and get back on track and go where you need to go and just be okay with that. And it's that thing, you know, it's okay to not be okay. And just because you're not feeling good one time or you're not in a position in your life where you want to be, that's okay, and you can move forward with that, and you can be happy being sad at the same time. And a lot of us, we're uncomfortable not knowing. Everyone's afraid of the unknown, and Good Will Hunting pretty much tells you, like, you're all right. You'll be all right. You'll overcome. And like I say in my lyrics, I tell people, you know, when I find myself, everyone's going to be nervous. Because when you truly find yourself and you put that into existence, there's, the sky's the limit for what you can do, and people are afraid of that. And that's why we like to hide our fears from the world and not embrace it. So that's where, Good Will Hunting. There's many more smaller messages in the song, but it's to each its own. So what I get from the song might be something you get differently from the song.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to those lyrics and I was feeling like, yeah, just like as you said, some days you feel something, some days you feel like nothing. You feel happy, you feel sad. It's okay to feel that way.
Yeah,
So I really enjoyed that little message that you have, especially right now.
appreciate
There's
that.
so much noise going on in this whole social media world that we live in,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people try to hide, the bad things. And a
Yep.
lot of people are scared to reveal that to the world. And I think it's really good to have that type of message out there right now because people need to hear that. You know what I mean? People can listen to the song, they vibe to it because it's catchy, it sounds good, it's good messages as well. But
Yeah.
sometimes people don't really think deeper than the sound. So to clarify and to actually really make sure that message really comes out too, just like in this interview,
Mm-hmm.
is really super important.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people I know some people who hear songs they can't even understand the lyrics.
Yeah.
They just like it because of the sound. So that's definitely a message that needs to be spread right now. So
Absolutely.
that's very good. Now I also want to know like those are some real deep lyrics. Do you like what is your experience with feeling like these negative emotions, feeling the positivity at once and also feeling maybe depressed or maybe like down? Tell me about like that journey of uplifting yourself and that road.
So, dealing with, especially during COVID and me living in Texas, my family being in Connecticut, that's a big thing for me is that I'm a family-oriented person. And I'm not able to go to their house. And even if I was with COVID, it's hard to get around and hang out with people and get that interaction with people. So it's adversity. And adversity is everything in life. And it's overcoming these challenges that you're faced with at a split second. And as a human, there's natural things that we need to do. There's natural things that we need to do in life to feel happy, to feel good. And for me, I've dealt with my fair share of depression and stuff like that, and especially now with COVID, people are falling into the depression state who don't even know that they've had it, but they're falling into it now. And I find my way out is hanging out with my daughter and enjoying nature and enjoying going outside and especially music, writing a song about what I feel now, and how I'm feeling now. And if I'm feeling something negative, I put it to paper. I make a song out of it. I listen to it. And that's how I get over it because I'm telling myself this is what's bothering you. Now it's time to figure out how do I get past that. And whether I just make the song and there it goes, I'm over with that situation, but I got to speak about it. So that's a little bit how I deal with it. But especially hanging with my daughter and just erasing life and just being in the moment. Being in the moment's really big, definitely big when I'm trying to deal with adversity and tough times in my life.
Awesome. So adversity, it seems like you're pretty close when it comes to adversity.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't realize how much adversity truly is a part of their life.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You just go day by day living the same routine, assuming that you're, doing just fine. But, it's always about accomplishing something,
Yeah.
always going over and reaching over another goal.
Absolutely.
So with people who are experiencing adversity right now, right? I know you mentioned you like to step back, get in that silent mode and, just do you right on paper. But is there any advice that you have for someone who maybe isn't interested in music or just, what is some advice you have for somebody who's experiencing adversity just in a general sense?
We all have our outlets that we like to go to, whether it's playing video games, working out, cooking, eating. What is your thing? Once you're able to know your thing and find your thing, just do that thing. And try not to worry about everything around that. So we're surrounded by everything,
Mm-hmm.
but you have your thing. And if you like to play video games or cook, be in that moment for whether it's a half an hour you're making noodles or you're outside grilling or you're going to the gym for 2 hours. Be there for that 2 hours. Turn your phone off. Don't go on social media. Nowadays we see people, they're at the gym, but they're mostly on their phone, posting pictures of themselves. And I get it. You can do it for, self-motivation and confidence and stuff, but try to put that phone away. Try to not get distracted by everything outside. If you're outside grilling, enjoy the birds, enjoy, the smell of the food that you're cooking. Be in that moment. Stay off the phone. Stay away from TV. Stay away from the news. Turn on your favorite song. Find your thing and find a way to block everything else around it out. And when you get to do that, you start to feel a lot better about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And those things that you love start becoming more of a passion. And then it's kind of an exercise for your brain, for your emotions. And it's definitely cleansing to the body and the soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea of stepping back and really enjoying what's right for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, when someone's going down a road of success and they're trying to like really, quiet out the noise around them, it really is so important to have the right people around you, right? Because you may want to quiet it out, but once you go back and you connect yourself back into society, some people are just like they're negative. They put you down, and they don't really fuel your fire, essentially.
Yeah.
So I want to know, when it comes to like someone either making fun of you, someone judging you, someone burning down your flame, how do you deal with judgment?
That's a great question, and that's something that took me a while to get over, because there's many of us who are extroverts that can hide the fact and say we're not afraid to be judged. But in reality, at the end of the day, a lot of us are afraid to be judged. Growing up, I was the class clown, and I think I was a class. Now as an adult, I ask myself, why would you get up and do that stupid shit in class? Like, was it worth the 3 laughs, but getting in trouble and then looking like the pained student? And then now as an adult, I look at myself and I say, I was probably doing that to hide my insecurities and my judgment of being called a loser for focusing. Maybe I wanted to focus, but I didn't, because I was afraid of what other people think about me. And that's a big thing, is we're too worried about how people judge us that we forget about ourselves and how to take care of ourselves. And now, as technology grows and social media grows, it's little things like likes and shares and comments and filters that people get so consumed in that we forget the natural beauty in ourselves. Whether it be we're just a nice person to talk to, a nice person to look at, someone who's happy with themselves. And advice that I would give people who are dealing with, if you're an artist that only has 1 follower, or you're a painter but no one has bought your paintings, if you are a cook but people don't like your food, just keep going. Keep going until you find one person. My goal in life, and as becoming a new artist and trying to make it and build my brand, is to just one person per song. If I can touch one person per song, then I've done my due diligence. I don't care about who hates it. 5 million people could hate my song, but if one person likes it, then I've succeeded. And that's where people dealing with it need to understand is, who cares what they think about you? For a while, I didn't want to put out music or videos because when I got out of the military, I was in great shape. And I put on my pounds, but I'm happy. And I didn't want to put out a video because I'm like, man, people are going to think about, hey, he gained some weight or something like that. I'm like, screw it, If I was in that mindset, then Goodwill Hunting wouldn't be a video right now with over 100,000 views. Because I would have said, no, I don't want my face on that camera. Don't put it out.
Yeah.
So it's just about this, when you can figure out a way to just block out that negative energy, because it's actually harder to consume that negative energy than just accept the positive energy. Because you're working and it's anger, and anger is harder than being happy, So that's just my take on it.
I like that a lot. Now, we talked about the external factors, right? We talked about judgment, maybe people being critical, all this other stuff, right? But what about internally? Like, how do you deal with failure on an internal sense? What's the best way to kind of go about outlooks? Do you set like, is there like a numeric goal, or is there how do you set your goals? How do you deal with failure?
Internally, as a son, as an uncle, a father, I failed a lot. As a lover, I failed a lot. And in order to get past that internal failure, you need to first of all, you need to recognize and acknowledge what did you fail at. And for me, the only way to get past all that is is learning from those mistakes and learning from those failures. It's like, okay, I didn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't get where I wanted to get, but why didn't I get there? And what can I do differently next time? You have to be able to, in a sense, tell yourself, all right, look, I made some mistakes, but now it's time to fix them, or now it's time to find a new journey. And once you can do that, then, that internal failure kind of starts to leave its way. It becomes lessons as opposed to failures. But I think without failure, then how do you know if you're getting better at something? How do you know if you reached your goal if you've never failed or you don't feel that? And as cliche as the song says, as my buddy C. Mill says, it's good to feel something. Whether it's negative or positive, it's good to feel something because that makes you human.
Mm-hmm.
So
it gives you a starting point.
It gives you a point.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, actually. That's beautiful. Thank you for that addition right there. Wow, a lot of insight coming from Vince Rosario today.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you haven't checked out his music just yet or you haven't followed him on social media, make sure you check out his stuff. I'm going to link the information down below. Please check out his page. Please give that video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family.
Appreciate that.
And, just learn a little bit here and in the song. This is awesome. Now, I want to, we kind of touched on this a little bit. We've been talking about adversity and, failures, all this other stuff. Now, the people watching, they want to know how to overcome it. And we've given them some pretty solid insight. I'm going to say this is a lot of wisdom coming from you right now. And I'm really amazed right now. I just want to know if someone's dealing with lack of self-confidence, what's the best way to go about overcoming that?
You have to keep going until you find an ounce of confidence. You have to find something that gives you that wow feeling and that wow factor and run with it. And don't look back. For me, and I'm going to relate to music because that's what I'm currently in dealing with, is if I put out a song and it gets one view or one listen or one thumbs up, I'm like, hell yeah. And I run with that. And you run with it. Everything else, but I don't think about the next day. And I was telling my buddy, C. Mill, Colin Walker, I said, hey, it's crazy because this video we got over 100,000 views. I was like, the next one, what are we going to do if it only gets 25,000 views? I was like, you got to forget that in the moment. Or what if it only gets 500 views or something, something way less. But you take that little bit, you run with it until the next time you get another piece and you run with that. You can't get consumed in everything's going to be the same every single time. So that self-confidence, every new challenge, every new chapter is going to be different. It restarts. That clock starts at 0. Your time starts ticking. And your motivation, you got to find that motivation. And you got to find that confidence. It's not always going to be the same. But you got to take that little ounce that you get and run with it.
Absolutely. You got to learn how to be still.
Yeah.
Just be with the silence.
And you also have to be, it's as hard as it may be, and sometimes, especially during COVID-19, you got to be happy by yourself without anybody else. You have to be happy just being alone sometimes because it's okay to be alone and just clear out everything. And when you lay down in bed at night and you think about the things that you want in life, that's your happy place. When you wake up, you have to tell yourself that's where you want to be, and that's what are you going to do today to make those things a reality? Yeah.
Wow. This was quite the heartfelt, motivational interview. I love it. So, I don't really have any much more to say. I learned a lot from you. This is definitely one of those interviews where I don't just interview and then it's done. I think the keys that you said in today's interview really are going to be taken with me for the remainder of my life.
I appreciate that.
These are really deep answers.
Yeah.
It's not just like your average run of the mill interview. This is like holy crap. So I just want to thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Thank you for having me. Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
And I look forward to seeing everything that you're going to accomplish.
Definitely coming back here and do another interview, and hopefully I have thousands of more fans and more content to put out and let all your viewers see, and definitely come back and talk to you and have a chat, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, all we need is just that one.
Just that one.
Let's go.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.